It don't get too much more brick by brick than Sim City, man. I love this game. It's a classic. It's a tactical game. You have to build a city. You have to run a city. You have to prep for the future. You have to learn from the past of what it takes to be a king, a boss, a mayor, a president. You could just translate all of that to a chessboard. Ever since RBE started, ever since we were founded in 2013, it's been a chessboard. Don't get it twisted, some pawns could turn to kings, right? I'm gonna get to Piperboy in a second. I shouldn't even say flowers. That shit spread like wildfire, man. Like, I be hating terms that catch on so fast. I'm gonna give Piperboy his props. Here's another throwback for y'all. You see that? The official North Skull shit, is that coming out? If you notice in my recent vlogs, even at the last event, I wore no jewelry. You know what I'm saying? I've got to a point in life where I have officially retired jewelry. 2 of my chains are already on eBay. It's just something that I invested in so much when I was young. From cars to jewelry, could have been down payments on mortgages, like stupid decisions. But these, I guess what, $20, $50, $80 at most on eBay or some shit like that. I don't think you could find them as easy as you could just walking into any given store and getting a Cuban link chain like you see on everybody out in the world today. You know what I mean? So I kept this, plus it's beads. It doesn't give me the same energy feel that I'm trying to leave in the past of like gold and diamonds and shit like that. Piperboy, big salute and shout out to you, homie. I woke up this morning, watched your blog. Just going through my phone, I don't got shit to do.
Today I got time, cuz.
Corona outside and all that, man. Shit crazy. I'm just chilling in the crib. But I've always fucked with Piperboy. You know, I appreciate his grind. I think he's smart. I think he's smarter than most. I don't even think people fully catch on to some of his tactics, some of the things that he says. I even think you push future content. Like, for example, boom, you gotta respond. Piperboy is a smart guy. Appreciate his content. And truth be told, even though I want to salute Piperboy, the point that I'm really making here is that when things matter, when things are important, when people are important, when platforms are important, when battlers or owners are important, discussions and topics begin. They're able to create energies. They're able to make people start to think. And we're going to talk a little bit more about it. Why not? Like I said,
today I got time, cuz.
But believe me when I say that ain't no ether blog. You know what I'm saying? What's the first thing you hear when ether comes on? You know, you hear, fuck Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? It's not an ether blog. I got people from magazines, owners, big time owners in this game. Bloggers, media, battle rap is texting me, calling me about that blog. People are applauding it. Same thing with the fans too. Like, people are applauding it. People feel the vibe and the energy of it is positive. It's a lot of things that people feel needed to be said that just doesn't get said. The ether stuff or the tough guy stuff or the trying to call people out their names and all that, you don't see that. You don't see us doing that type of shit. Like I said before, we stand on that. We don't just walk around the world playing with people. But as far as defending RBE and defending our company, it's much bigger than a blog. The awareness of some of these situations actually bleeds into our success. But going back to Piperboy, once again, I think that was a good blog. I think you said some interesting stuff that provides me another alley-oop to actually go further into some of these topics. That's for RBE's advancement. That's for the awareness of our supporters. Our supporters spent money with us. It's very important that they have correct narratives. I mean, you literally have people in the world that really believe I was on that fucking app talking shit the way that I don't even talk, the way that I don't even act and conduct myself while I was standing on stage running my own fucking event. You know what I mean? Like, you got people in the world that want to run with that and it's fun to them or really believe that shit. So yeah, let's have some interesting back and forth over these topics. What up, what up, what up? It's your boy ARP. RBE is the movement. Back another blog for y'all. Alright, so behind the scenes, there's a rift. And I know that, especially after all the history of these two platforms, along with that recent blog last week, people are now starting to hone more in on two people. It's never going to be like that in reality. You know, like, Shot the knows and feels the exact same way as me. He just doesn't speak on camera. I'm pretty sure there's other people on that side that feel exactly like, you know, that league owner. But, you know, maybe they're not on camera. I mean, if I really want to cut this fucking whole blog short, I could say the entire world revolves around and boils down to $1. But you can't always simplify things that easily for some people. So, this behind the scenes rift. Ego, pride, is some of that involved? Maybe. Probably. On a scale from 1 to 10, is it a 10? No. I've heard things about the personal side to things tied to, I wouldn't even say that on camera. I mean, you're talking about two people that have met each other several times, spoken to each other in private, in face-to-face, in public several times. I mean, as both spokespersons and companies have evolved over the years, certain moves on the chessboard have changed. It's evolved as well. You know, I can remember clearly going back to like 2013, 2014. You know, homie put out a very, very funny interview about me on Angry Fan. I think he was like pointing out the fact that I did like a blog or two or whatever in a white beat or a tank top or some shit. The shit was hilarious. Very tactical, very sarcastic, very funny. I remember I had an interview on 15 Minutes of Fame like 2 days later, responding. You know, but even prior to that, we met at their events. You know, we met again at our events. I remember another funny one at BB King's. You know, we're both very sarcastic. We're both very smart. We're basically standing in front and behind each other, like literally one step from each other at BB King's. I think it was Heavy Bags that was there. I think it was Heavy Bags, like the three of us. And I tapped homie on the shoulder and I was like, "Nice to meet you. I'm ARP from RBE." And then the response was, "Nice to meet you. I'm Eric Beasley from URL." That was like a big shot. That was like a haymaker on the low. Like, that was, yeah, y'all got it. Y'all are much bigger than us. You know what I'm saying? Like, saying it like that, that was a good one. But this ain't that block. This ain't a history breakdown. Along the way, you got all these pieces on the chessboard getting moved. You got all these shots back and forth, interviews, blogs, cards, battles, block this, block that, whatever. All types of shit going back and forth. You know what I mean? I think the reason why there's so much shock from my blog last week is because it was never said before. So I fully understand that it takes time for people to catch up. Not everybody's at the front of the ship. Not everybody's waiting at the finish line. So even if you look at my blog and some of the clips that were in there, like the 15 Minutes of Fame footage or MACKK at the press conference, these are all public videos already. You know what I'm saying? But they all went over people's heads because all of this stuff was already there for public consumption and understanding. But yet, how many fans are telling us like, "Oh wow, I didn't know that." That's the point. You know what I mean? People got to catch up sometimes, or people got to be shown things in a certain way for them to understand the bigger picture. Because if you don't do that, then you just walk around with a narrative like, "Oh, ARP called URL out in 2018 because they got big-headed and booked MACK." And then I do a whole blog breaking down like, nah, let me show y'all what the breakdown really was and what was happening behind the scenes. You see what I'm saying? It's like, Piperboy is right. People do understand, but the people that understand are far and few. That's the problem. That's the problem. If you take 10 people, really only like 3 of them know. People that are behind the scenes, some of the bloggers may know. You know what I'm saying? Some of the media know. Some of the battlers, of course, know. League owners, of course, know. But all of the consumers and all of the fans and all of our supporters, they don't know. The next point that I saw, niggas could hit QuarterLab and get your YouTube channel taken down. Come on, Piperboy, man. You're a little bit smarter than that. You know YouTube better than that. Number one, we're with QuarterLab as well. We're actually a longer running client of QuarterLab than URL is. Okay? So, take that how you want to take that. Not to mention the old blogs that you speak of, I think that was probably edited like 2 years ago. You know, YouTube gives you that feature where you could edit online and it just like edits the video without you having to delete it and then re-upload it if you just like hone in on a certain part that you want to take out. Because we had a couple videos like 2 years ago that had a strike on them. From an MCN, you know, for bloggers and people in the YouTube world, y'all know what an MCN is. You know, for fans, I don't need to waste your time explaining what it is. So to somebody that knows our channel pretty well, I would say there's no footage that belongs to this other company on our channel. And even if there is, all right, 1 or 2 strikes on a video and then we just delete it, we would take it down. And even if we was talking about some extreme hypothetical of a battle rap company's channel being taken down, I mean, for us, we would cry for a day. 2 days maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't depend on battle rap to that level. What we would probably do is just start another channel. We have our entire channel backed up like 3 or 4 times. It just probably take us a week or 2 to upload every single battle and every single video right back, and then we'd start from scratch, similar to the way some bloggers did when they was attacked by God knows who and their channels was taken down. Butterfly, I think Piperboy may be your channel as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. Jim's channel. There was a bunch of channels that was taken down. Like, you look at Butterfly's channel. Off the top of my head, I think he's probably got like 50,000 subscribers now. He just built it back. You think RBE wouldn't do the same? A channel that actually has the type of content that you go back to watch. Like, that's one of the differences between like a league channel and like a blogger only channel. You know, people don't really go back and watch blogs from 4 or 5 years ago. Alright, but somebody might want to double back and say, I feel like watching Daylight vs. Oops again, even though it's a 10-year-old video. So we would upload all that content and, you know, we would just rebuild brick by brick. You know, that's part of the YouTube game. But we hold weight in the YouTube space as well. So don't think that we wouldn't counter certain things, or if anybody came after our channel, any MCN or any company, you know, like, we would respond seriously. The next point, not stirring the pot. And that's just one of the problems to us. It's like, how many people are willing to not respond, not speak up for themselves? You know what I'm saying? It's the quiet shit. Everybody walks around with their head down and their tails tucked in and their mouth closed. That pot has been on the stove for years. Are you talking about don't stir it?
Today I got time, cuz.
The next point, they could tell battler XYZ don't battle on RBE. Now this one we're going to talk a little bit more on. The people that you named, you say people like Twerk, Nitty, Rock, who else did you say? Geechee. We're here 7 years. Have they ever touched the platform before? And then mentions of, you know, they can book Lux or Surf and put that on the same day as you. Like, we just went through that. You know what I'm saying? Once again, we can't duck and act like it didn't just happen. Like, the fans were in a frenzy just now. It wasn't even about a Surf or a Lux. It was bigger than that, because this was the first time people even hearing of this merger, and they saw Drake involved in all of that. And billboards. We just had that. You know what I'm saying? So what are we talking about? We talking about something that's going to happen regardless, so just be quiet? If it's going to happen regardless, and if it's happened in the past and it just happened a couple weeks ago, you think that we're not forecasting that it's going to happen again in the future? Stirring the pot will prevent that, because before I drop that blog, it already happened. Like, we just got to think a little bit more logical. Now here's where I want to slow down for a second, because the example of JC and Oops being able to happen again, or any day of the week, you really need to believe me when I say there will never be another A-Verb situation again. That just will never happen again. Ever to RBE. Well, it won't have that type of turnout. I know you see me and A-Verb go back and forth on Twitter. You know, we was both heavily invested in that moment. A lot of energy, threats going back and forth, a lot of shit talking, name calling, and all that. It's because RBE never felt that disrespected. We never had a card blown up that heavy. That was a 4-battle card. You're talking about Math versus Hollow, A-Verb versus Iron, Young Ill's Return versus Ill Will, and I think Clean Paper versus Gems. 4-battle card, and 2 of them blown up. So that's bigger than these 2 deposits. For a situation like that, where we're able to show proof, financing, contracts, analytics of blowing up the middle of a 4-battle event. You're talking about pay-per-view, you're talking about door, you're talking about future YouTube money, even company reputation. Even company reputation as far as fan support or fan belief, or fan stability, in saying, all right, RBE has a stream that's coming up for the event after that. Can we trust that it's not going to lose 2 of the 4 battles? All of that you can put on a lawyer's table. That number is not these people's deposits. It's a big fucking number. That's a serious situation. And y'all are not going to say that, oh, ARP, wow, this is shocking, when we go there. Because I've been talking about this shit for years. A situation like that, where you're implying that another company was even involved and this was a malicious act, that's what you're saying, Piperboy, those are your words, right? If that's the case, and it's a malicious, purposeful attempt or decision to say, I'm going over here for a bigger look, or maybe I was told not to battle there, or I'm choosing this opponent over that opponent after I received the deposit and signed a contract, and it's a big situation for RBE, believe me when I say it will never happen again. I will gladly sit the entire company down for 3, 4, 5 months and spend $20,000 to $40,000 investing in that lawsuit, depending on whether it stops at arbitration or goes to a full all-out trial. I mean, you're studying law, you know what I'm saying, homie, so you know that shit is going to be very fucking serious. It's going to be very serious. And that's also a problem within our culture too. That attitude right there, homie. That attitude, and I'm talking to you just man to man right now. That attitude of this is regular. we're desensitized to. I just mentioned this in the last blog. That's the problem. People think it's just that easy to call out of a battle. I just said that to So Severe on Twitter. I was like, you got a good attitude, you know, you laughed it off. And I think part of the reason why he laughed it off is because there's regular shit in our culture. Just regular battle canceled, or this person got cyberbullied or whatever. There's blogs about it, talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Tweets about it, opponents talking about it, leagues talking about it. You know what I mean? Not every league can afford to, wants to, or has any energy towards protecting themselves at a legal level. Hubby E does. I need to make that so fucking clear. There won't be any argument. There won't be any tweets. You're just gonna hear a battle rapper jump out of nowhere and complain, oh my god, yo, fuck these niggas. I'm getting my ass sued off for $200,000. That's what's gonna happen. And in the grand scheme of things, you know how many owners and how many battlers and how many fans are waiting for that as well. You got battlers that are professional and handle their business, but then they miss their back ends or their opportunities or their looks because there's some fuck shit on the other side. You got league owners who get crushed. I heard about things going on at the last event. You know what I'm saying? That just went down last weekend. Fans, families behind the scenes, battlers, media, leagues, league owners, investors, partners, sponsors. Behind the scenes, there is huge fallout. And people that are in those positions, they want to see us be more professional so that they don't get fucked over like that either. They want to see us raise the level of professionalism in this culture. What league wants to promote and plan all fucking month or for 2 months and then get to an event and then 3 battles drop off their card for some dumb shit? And the bridges that are burned, it's not even necessary. It's foolish to move and rub shoulders like that and network like that. People think too much for today instead of for tomorrow. And that's cool. You know, everybody got to make their decisions. You know what I'm saying? True story. About 2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, Hollow calls me. And he tells me he has a round written already for JC. Hollow was literally ready to sign a contract with RBE for JC with a round written already. And we couldn't do it. We couldn't pull that trigger. You know what I'm saying? For our own personal decisions. And in the end, maybe things will work out for them and maybe it doesn't. But along the way, all this shit that gets kicked up, I'm telling you, it's not worth it. The next point, over ego. You don't want to sacrifice your company's success. So I already spoke earlier, and I admit that, of course, on both sides, there's definitely going to be some pride and some ego. But let me give y'all a quick story about ego and pride from Rare Entertainment and myself. So when that whole Verb shit was going on, right, and shout out to Verb. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't dissing Verb. Like, we don't got no energy towards Verb. Shout out to him. But when that whole situation was going on, you know, it was really full throttle. Like, that's why I put that email out when you saw me and Tay-Rock go back and forth on Twitter briefly. Behind the scenes, that was very serious for us. We got to a point where we decided. We thought it out. It wasn't just moving off the cuff. We thought it out and we said, this is that moment. We can't accept this. We can't allow this. We're going to protect Rare Entertainment. Verb will be sued. And then I even showed the proof, you know what I mean? And that came off a little abrasive, I guess, to certain people. Because I brought it up when Tech 9 passed. You know what I mean? Because everybody was in their emotions with Tech 9 passed. And I was just like, damn, like, I want to show y'all the proof that Verb is in the process of being sued. Like, here's the email between RBE and our lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Like this process is beginning. And it's going to last however long. It could be a 6-month process, but unfortunately, Verb is about to get dragged behind the scenes for every dime that we feel that we're owed for that whole situation. And I put that shit on Twitter. You know, I guess at the time, people was just grieving so much. It didn't look good, and I accepted that. I know why we did it. You know what I mean? We did it almost to say, we're going to leave this situation alone. Because look at our culture. Look at what we have here. This is such a small niche demographic that we have. Everybody knows each other, has but so many degrees of separation between them. It's a small little culture that we got here. And we was like, you know what? We're not going towards this because our lawyer is strong. Just be global. You know what I'm saying? They have offices in New York, the Midwest, California, because they're able to cross certain lines of jurisdiction. That's how it goes. Like if you live in the Midwest, like you might not be able to sue somebody with a New York lawyer. That company is big. They have offices all around the states, in all major areas of this country. And we was going there. We was definitely going there. And then I got to a point where I said, you know what? Yo, Swave, what's that owner's number over there? I want to just contact him about this situation. Not to be no friends. Not reaching out. Not to coordinate and say we need to get along or do a co-event together. Nothing like that. Only because I want to let this person know. You and I are gatekeepers. You and I are power figures in this culture. You and I are decision makers in this culture. You and I are both smart. This man is about to get sued behind this. I think we should work this out. You know, so I sent a text message over that no reply came to. That was me putting my ego and my pride down. Alright? I just really said, if I talk to the person that is above the battler, maybe I could spare this person. Because at the end of the day, I really do look at Verb as somebody that was on our very first card. He didn't come to us, we went to them, you know what I'm saying, and paid him. So, you know, it wasn't no favor done, it was an even exchange. But this is somebody that I worked with since our very first card. Some of the ways we built on the phone and everything, and the way that situation developed behind the scenes, the conversations that we were having, the things I was being told. And I never even dropped that blog. I never exposed that shit. I was just like, wow. But there was still enough history between that man and RBE to say, we don't want to drag him like that. We don't want to do this shit. We don't want to have this guy getting served at his battles, or if he has a 9-to-5 job, his fucking wages getting garnished or some shit. We don't want to do that shit, man. Not Verb. We should. I'm telling y'all don't know the details of this fucking situation behind the scenes. We should do this shit. But I really don't want to. I reached out to that man and I heard nothing back. I put my pride and my ego down in that moment. So, believe me when I say, we're not perfect, but we really carry a lot of principles and integrity over here. So to close this out, I just want to say to people that are now shocked because they're brought up to speed, you know, from last week's blog over shit that's been going on for years. You gotta understand that there comes a time, there comes a point in any man's life or any company's life where you could be walking away for 7 years. I mean, this is still a functioning business and company. Our supporters, the bloggers, the media, the people that rock with us, the battle rappers, are a big part of who we are today. So addressing them, making sure that they understand who we are, what we are, and the things that we've been involved in is very important to the company's success. Because it all comes back to our integrity and our principles. And if people understand those things, they even go as far as choosing to support us. You don't see how many comments we have on the channel. Yo, I cop the streams because I respect ARP. Yo, I buy a ticket just because I respect how this man carries himself. I support this man because I feel like he deserves to win. That's who we do it for. Because if our supporters didn't understand us and we didn't speak to them and they just felt that we wasn't having any principles, any integrity, or we were just out here being troublemakers or whatever, I wouldn't want to support people like that. So we address it. Integrity and principles isn't just about the man walking around with them. It also reflects within your company and your success. That's why these messages to our supporters and our fan base is important.